Hi, Aries. This is Just with your 2020 yearly tarot reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. Welcome to those of you who are new, and for others of you who have checked out the last year's reading. We're doing something different this year. We're actually going to go by quarter instead of by month, and we're going to look at very specific areas of your life. So we're starting here with January, February, and March of 2020. And straight away, coming out of 2019, some of you had to make a very hard but very clear and decisive decision. It could have been by force or by choice, simply meaning it could have been your decision to make or someone else's. However, nonetheless, a decision was made and you had to kind of cut something out or leave something behind, is what I see here. Now, I have to read this particular card two different ways because it came out reverse, and I had to correct it because I'm making sure all the cards are upright for these yearlies. But that being said, some of you definitely are going to experience for the first 3 months that you're very confident. You are very assertive. You may feel like you have a lot of persuasion over others, that it may seem a little bit more easier to get people to do what you want them to do, and that you feel you may be called upon to do things for others as well. You may find yourself having to heed the call of others, and may take on, you may even decide that you want to do something in counseling, psychiatry, nursing, something where you show some care for another person. Also products and services, sales, something where there has to be either some type of persuasion or caregiving, nurturing of some sort. So there is this newfound way that you're handling and communicating with people that is a little more softer, might I add, Aries. Hello. A softer approach that you are using on others, and you will find that it's a little bit more beneficial to you to use those types of tactics. Now, I have to say, some of you, that's not going to be the case. Some of you will find it a little bit difficult to be persuasive. You will find, if you are in the sales business and caring business, you may find a little bit difficult that people aren't as appreciative. It could be you also not as appreciative of the care, the efforts that people are giving toward you. So be conscious of that if you find yourself becoming a little bit anxious, aggravated, or stressed in those areas. Capricorn, I'm sure to some extent hasn't been so kind, probably will be a little bit chafed toward you guys. And I also want to mention, you have, and we'll see as we progress forward with the reading, but you guys in 2020, be very careful and go out. It will do you some good if you're into astrology. If you do not know anything about it, perhaps you are more curious now. It would do you some good to find out where Aries is going to be transiting in 2020. I believe it will be in Mars, which is your governing planet, in September to November. Don't quote me on those dates. And it's going to be retrograde. So it's going to be a very powerful, action-packed months and time frame. So to kind of learn more about that, since it is your actual sign, and how to prevent any unforeseen pitfalls or problematic situations with that Mars. Mars is all about action, but when it's reversed, it could be old situations coming back to you or something coming to you, even though you're known to get things started. So I just wanted to throw that out to you guys, just to say that, hey, this will be quite an interesting year for you guys, particularly toward the end of the year. But focusing on the first quarter, and coming into this being very positive, if that is your reality, that you find it a little bit difficult to find your confidence, to find your footing, to either accept care and help from others or vice versa, allow that to switch that around and let this death card interact in your life and make the change. There's going to be something that you do change, and I love that there's a death card, the moon, and then the 9 of Pentacles, because that speaks to a death and a peripheral ending to something that has not been clear, that even depression, mild depression, mood swings, or just an inability to see things clearly and make decisions, you will come out of that. You will find yourself a little bit more independent, a little bit more taking on your stance in life, and kind of setting a new goal financially for yourself as well. And whatever this is, you may realize that, hey, now I have to do it on my own. It's all or nothing. It's all in me. All I have is God and myself. And it looks like you're going to be kind of okay with that if you find yourself in this position. That being said, you will find yourself at some point January, February, and March. If you have loans, you're trying to sell a home, buy a home, property matters, you may be thinking to redecorate your home or redesign your home or reconstruct your home in some kind of way, you may find that it's a little bit stressful. Also, you may take on more responsibility, okay, when it comes to matters of home. So something about home life, children. I do see a child here, so it could involve child or home expenses or someone coming to live with you, something like that, which can incur your expenses to some extent. Could have you up at night, could have you stressed out. You may feel like you're a bit in over your head, but I do see that there's going to be good opportunities for you guys to kind of work through this process, okay? And you guys will be able to work through it. I also see that there can be a new opportunity, new job, new career. May not be with a big corporation. Again, where you're trying to get to, especially if it's a very traditional sense of how you make your money, how you move about in life, you may find that to be more and more challenging. That is just life telling you that perhaps you need to follow the trail less traveled, maybe become your own entrepreneur. The Nine of Pentacles speaks to that. Some of you are not really clear. Should I completely leave my job and just do this on my own? Hey, it's doing really well. Should I just take my ball and go? And as we can see with the Seven of Pentacles and what will be the surrounding energies throughout the 3 months, some of you are going to take your ball and go. Some of you are going to detach from something that you have built up, that you have established for yourself, and you're going to start something completely new and set new intentions and grow something new from starch, okay, from the ground up. Now, that doesn't mean that all of you are going to leave your job or all of you just going to go into something completely new and that, is less money, that sort of thing. Whoever's doing this, they're doing it with the clarity and understanding that they're okay financially and they can afford to do this, right? They can take a quote unquote risk, and they have been shown time and time again that what is of the traditional way to do things doesn't benefit them or beget them where they want to be. And so therefore they find themselves going to this thing that is, like I said, a bit foreign to them, untraditional, unconventional in how they make money, and seeing that is a little bit more proactive, more positive. They're more interested in it. I'm speaking of you, Aries, out there. And it's something that also tugs at your heart. It's something that you probably feel like you've always wanted to do, and now that you're doing it, you're falling in love with doing this very same thing. And you find a lot of energy, a lot of happiness, and a lot of passion. You're very passionate. Now, we don't see any wands cards here. So notice that you're coming into the first 3 months extremely practical. Yeah, we can say the strength card is quite passionate, right? It does represent Leo. Some of you may also find that Leos are very much a part of your life at this time. And it could be a bit of a challenge. It's something good that can come out of it, but it may start challenging or can end challenging. So just keep that in mind with that card initially coming out reversed. However, you're coming in trying to leave unnecessary and unstable rather emotions behind, and trying to really approach life in a very practical way, but not leaving so much behind from your heart and what feels good. You still want to feel it. You still want to be in it. You still want to love it. You still want to have that emotion attached to what you're doing. But again, addressing things in a more practical sort of way. This will be a great money, quarter for you. Great money quarter. Again, mentally a little bit challenges at times, feeling like the traditional way of doing things may be a bit up against you. But again, there's always an opportunity for you to find a different way, which again, as I say with the Seven of Pentacles, you can find a different way with this particular card, the way it's illustrated, this person is deciding. Now, the card prior, which is the regular tarot, because that card happens to be the after tarot, what happens after the regular tarot. He's looking at the pentacles, not yet making a decision. But as we can see, you guys make a decision, you move forward and in a new way. Now, I have to say, when it comes to love, you coupled relationship Aries, you may be changing your relationship. Some of you, there's something about the next 3 months that is going to mark by choice or by force. Okay. So it may be something you decide or something that just is decided against, out of your control, let's say, that you find yourself single. Okay. It's very obvious. It seems like there's nothing that you can do to convince this person otherwise, or you can't be convinced otherwise. And you're just not, you still feel it. You still love someone. Some of you just want a very strong love, and you've been carrying this wanting of love for so long that things are coming up to kind of settle it and say, okay, are we doing it? Are we not? Well, it's becoming too obvious that can we do this any longer? Because I'm sorry, some of you are going to find out what you've been looking for. Hell, you may not even look for it and you find it. It's going to be a lot of stressful times with some of you Aries couples, because a lot of what has been laid dormant and not said will come up now. Finding out about, other people could be. If you're one of many, finding it very difficult to move in a very traditional sort of way with a particular person if you're just dating around, and probably deciding to kind of take yourself off of that quote unquote social dating environment. Probably trying to find people in a more traditional way. Finding, and not for nothing, traditional ways in 2019 is dating socially, dating in a very, what do they call it? Digital dating, cyber dating. I think that's what it's called. I have no clue, but you know what I mean. So some of you will find that you want to do it traditionally, whatever your time frame is. If you're young, you may feel like, well, this is a traditional way of how we meet people. You get online, and now you're going to go to that place of like going out and going to dinner and going to events and networking stuff, and to do the one-to-one physical person is like you're going to be more interested in that. Others of you who are a little bit older, and that's the generation you come from, you may start opting for more of a digital dating environment. What is out of a norm for you, you may find yourself doing that for the next 3 months when it comes to love. Once you find yourself, if you're just out there socially dating, like I said, couples, you want to get down to the bottom of a situation. You may find, you or your mate, someone is going to want to kind of free themselves from a situation. It's going to be almost like you have no control over this. You can't ignore it any longer. It's going to be like blaring in your ears that, this situation is coming to a head. I have to say that. Hate to say it, but it's the truth. That's what I see. Excuse me. And so you will have some nights of sleepless nights and stressed out and worrying, whether it be you or the other person that just picks their ball up and go. They just decide that, hey, I'm leaving. I'm starting something new. I want to be single. This isn't going to work. And it could just be for some of you where you take a bit of a break between the two of you and only to come back later. We don't know what the rest of the year is going to show us. But nevertheless, whatever it is something that has to happen. Okay, it kind of has to happen, especially with Chiron transiting your sign. These things are necessary to happen because, as we can see, the two majors that you have speaks to being very persuasive, being very passionate towards someone, being very convincing. Okay, being unyielding in your ability to make someone do what you want them to do, having that strength, having that pull, having the confidence, all right? And when it relates to couple relationships, some of you very well can work your way into working out this relationship. I have to say, though, there may be others involved, or it may be more work than what you're first thinking. Counseling probably can work, but something probably outside of the traditional box you may find, like, we've been to counseling, we've done all the things we're supposed to do. None of this is kind of working forever. We always go back to these places. So something outside of the box may be more of a benefit to you. Sneaking around trying to find something, you're going to find it. Probing, asking questions, you're going to find out. Single Aries, this is going to be a great time for you single Aries. I do feel like love is going to be coming your way 100%. Some of you are finally going to be able to put the past to rest. Put those nights in which you was wondering and wishing and hoping and praying for someone to come but then accepting your fate of being single, but your heart so desperately wants someone and your mind is full of passion and desire, you're getting that. Okay. Someone is going to come in. You're going to take a leap of faith in the first 3 months of 2020. Okay. And where there was worry and concern, maybe because you may have attracted people to you that you felt less than, or vice versa. And it was always a challenge to find that balance. That's coming in. It could even be at the workplace that you meet someone in particular. And I feel like there's an opportunity for you to get a wish granted, and it's very divine. So for those of you who are single Aries and you meet someone in the very first quarter of 2020, and you're saying, wow, I moved here and then I met this person. I did this and then I met this person. Your person is there. Wherever you're going or have moved to, or wherever you're going to be, that is all orchestrated for you to meet this person. And for some of you, like I said, single Aries, you're taking a leap of faith. You're not going to be on the market for very long. And singles just mean that you're not in a committed relationship. You may be seeing people, you may be dating, but you're not completely committed as of now. Some of you literally just got in a relationship, right? And that is part of this singles Aries that's taken this big leap of faith and feel like you found your one, because your one is coming. And some of you may even say, hey, I'm off the market. Like, you get yourself off the market by the first 3 months because you're falling in love with someone and it's so passionate, and you feel like you've kind of let the past go, right? So whatever was unsure, you didn't say certain things, like you let it out, you let things be said, you took that on, you took the responsibility, you let it go, and now you're safe to kind of move forward and set a new foundation with a new person. So congratulations for some of you Aries who are completely going to be off the market. Others of you, again, accepting that you're single, moving forward. And I just see completely starting something new for Aries. Aries completely starting something new. Now, these aren't the most lovey-dovey cards. Obviously, if you are a couple, but with that Three of Pentacles, you can work things out. You will be able to work a situation out, especially if you guys live together, if there's a home dynamic together, especially if there is children involved, that sort of thing, or talking about moving in together. With the right communication, there's an opportunity to definitely work a situation out. Otherwise, I see complete endings, new beginnings, and a fresh, beautiful, what appears to be a beautiful start for some of you single Aries. So let's go on to the next quarter, which would be your second quarter.